All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So, hope you're having a great Thanksgiving, right? Hanging with your friends, your family, enjoying the time off. The Lions-Packers game is actually just about to start here in a little bit. But, of course, we have to preview the Jets-Dolphins game tomorrow, Black Friday, 3 p.m. kickoff, right in the middle of the day here. I gotta be honest, it feels like a game for the New York Jets where it's make or break, right? We saw, to me at least, right? I can't speak for everybody. For me, that Buffalo Bills game was an absolute embarrassment. It was just disgusting from start to finish. Offensively, we saw the defense starting to crack a little bit. Whether it was, Quinnen Williams screaming on the sidelines, whether it was, Sauce Gardner with the, foolish penalties and whatnot. It was just such a tough watch. The coaching issues, the dropped passes, the turnovers. The Jets turned it over 4 times. All right, they were 0 for 11 on third downs. It was just a disgrace. So this needs to be the week, right, where the Jets come out and they show. We're going to find out a lot about this Jets team and really how these guys play. If they come out and they are slow, sloppy, sluggish, starting out slow once again, I think that's going to mirror how the team kind of feels, right? It's going to mirror the locker room, the team morale. We look at the Miami Dolphins, first place in the AFC East. 7-3. They are number one in so many different categories offensively: points, yards, touchdowns. They're also number one in the red zone, scoring over 73% of the time when they get in there. Absolutely crazy. You look at the defense, it's not bad, right? It's not great. It's kind of in the middle of the road, right? Led by Vic Fangio. They have Bradley Chubb off the edge, Christian Wilkins on the inside. Jalen Ramsey came back and is looking he's playing some pretty good football. So it's a massive test. It is a massive test for the Jets. And again, we're kind of in a position right now as Jets fans where we just have more questions than answers. Is Saleh the guy moving forward? What's going on with quarterback? Tim Boyle is starting. Is the offensive line going to hold up? Will the offense look like a unit with more life in it now that a quarterback change has been made? Because people are referencing, over and over again that when Mike White was in the lineup last year, or even Joe Flacco, or even Josh Johnson 2 years ago, the offense moved. The offense got in the end zone. But for whatever reason with Zach, it always seemed to stall. So when we ask the question, what can we expect from Tim Boyle? This is a guy who hasn't really been all that impressive, in his previous destinations: Green Bay, Detroit, Chicago. He's 0-3 as a starting quarterback, 3 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. Just hasn't really jumped off the page. Now, of course, Tim Boyle does have some likable traits. The size, 6'4", 6'5", 235 pounds. That's solid size for a quarterback. He has the ability to stand in the pocket, not bail out early. He's not really afraid of being hit and whatnot. Has a super quick release and a really, really powerful arm. That was, something that was actually one of the main reasons why Green Bay brought him in and why he landed with the Packers and kind of dethroned DeShone Kizer in the first place. It was just that arm strength, just so much velocity on the football, and obviously I'm a big fan of that. So theoretically, Tim Boyle can maybe push the ball deep down the field, but then it's like, okay, you can push back and say, well, hold on, Zach Wilson's arm strength is right up there too, at the top of the NFL. That's not an over-exaggeration here. Zach's arm is fantastic, and they didn't push the ball down the field. So, to me, that was more so Hackett's decision, right? Just not really dialing up anything down the field, whether that's his personal preference, whether it's personnel decisions, Hackett and Saleh not feeling like they have, the ammunition to make moves down the field. We'll see if that changes this week. It better change this week. But it really feels like, okay, according to Jets coaches, according to the Jets, according to beat reporters, everybody's hyping Tim Boyle up. But for me, Zach Wilson was part of the problem. He wasn't the only problem of the Jets offense. I mean, we can talk about the drops. We can talk about penalties. We can talk about, again, poor play calls, poor offensive game planning, right? Again, nothing down the field. It felt like everything was really 15 yards and in from the line of scrimmage, like this rectangle style of offense. The offensive line has not been playing well either. The Jets can't really establish any sort of running attack, or they're obviously not throwing the ball that effectively as well. So, Are all those problems on Zach Wilson? No. But he was part of the problem. I think at this point, a change had to be made in some facet, right? Whether you're pulling play calling duties from Hackett, giving him to Todd Downing or something, a change had to be made because it sends a message to the locker room. It sends really a message to the defense saying, you know what, we care about wins. We care about everybody else in this locker room. We're not the New York Zach Wilsons, right? We're not pandering towards egos or, well, hold on, he was the second overall pick, so we kind of have to play him, or he's the highest paid player, at that position, so we're going to play him. It seems like the Jets are finally starting to shift gears a little bit at certain positions, whether it's, Ruckert ahead of CJ Uzama, whether it's Jason Brownlee and Alan Lazard splitting snaps, right? Like, that's something that I never really thought was going to take place. Like who would have thought Alan Lazard in year one of a 4-year, $44 million contract would be splitting snaps, regular season snaps with an undrafted free agent? It's kind of crazy to think about. And now, of course, going from Zach Wilson to Tim Boyle, I'm hoping that the offense shows a little bit of pop, shows a little bit of juice, right? Will the players kind of rally behind Tim, or will it just be more of the same? And I think once the offense starts getting in the end zone, for once, right, this Jets offense averages literally 1 touchdown per game. 6 points from the offense per game. If you're a defensive player and you're looking at that, you are just, like you're throwing your hands up. Like, are you kidding me? This is the National Football League, and we're expected to hold defenses, all these different franchise quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, whoever it is, Pat Mahomes, Justin Herbert, we're expected to go down and clamp these guys. And the offense is, on the other end, giving us 6 points in return on average. It's just a joke. So if the offense can start getting in the end zone, I kind of have a feeling that the defensive performance will just shoot up. And, hopefully it's going to be a tough game. But it does kind of feel like one of those games where, once people are like selling their stock on the Jets, they have that crazy win, right? Like, we can think back to the Eagles game, right? It's the same kind of deal. So it's the NFL, it's football. We have to go out, see what happens any given Sunday, but it's going to be tough. It is going to be tough. I am hoping that another former Denver Bronco head coach, Vic Fangio, does not go out and embarrass Nathaniel Hackett, because Hackett was embarrassed. He's been embarrassed these past couple of weeks, whether it's from a Sean McDermott, whether it's from, like Antonio Pierce and his defense with the Raiders and Brandon Staley and the Chargers. It's just 1 week, Wink Martindale. It's just 1 week after another. At what point will this Jets offense start to turn the corner? Again, for me, I just haven't really seen any sort of positivity in that regard. So we'll see what happens. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Huge game. It would be so much better to be 5-6 as opposed to 4-7. I feel like at that point, the season is pretty much passing us by, and we're going to be playing catch up from that point on. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. Happy Thanksgiving. And as always, go Jets.